I'd like to get into the
on Hanukkah, when mostly we talk about the mitzvahs to light the Neres Hanukkah at night. So there's one Nes of the Neres Hanukkah, and there's another Nes of the Milchamas that Klal Yisrael won the Milchamas. And we're constantly talking about both. In Tefillah we talk about the Milchamas, at night we light the Neres. But in the Neres Halalu that we say when we light the Neres, we mention over the Milchamas. We say Neres Halalu ought to thank Hashem for the Milchamas. That means there's definitely a connection between the Ner Hanukkah, the Pach Shemen that they found and that lasted for so long, between the Ner Hanukkah and the Milchamas that they won. There definitely is a connection. What's the connection? What does this Ner Hanukkah, what does this Pach Shemen represent? It must represent something. We know everyone is cautious that really Tumu is Hutra B'tzibur. There's a way that you could light the oil with Tamei. There must be something that this Pach Shemen represents, and therefore that's thanking Hashem for the Milchamas. And there must be something very, very big represented with this Pach Shemen. There's a medrash in Shir Hashirim. The medrash says, "Kol ha-milchamas sheYaakov netzeach." All the wars that Yaakov wins against Esav throughout all the generations are all b'schus v'ye'avek, and the schus of the wrestle that Yaakov had with Esav's malach. We know in the parashas from 2 weeks ago, Yaakov wrestled with Esav's malach. It says that Vayivasa Yaakov levada. Yaakov was left alone as if Yaakov is going towards meeting Esav. Vayivasa Yaakov levada, away from his family. He's alone. Chazal tell us, why is he alone? He went to go after Pachim Ktanim. Yaakov Avinu went to search for Pachim Ktanim. He's searching for small Pachim Ktanim. There's a medrash Seidel Aderech that he says, "B'schus shasiken ya'atzmoi al Pachim Ktanim," in the schus that Yaakov endangered himself. He stayed alone. In those days it's pitch black, right? He's staying alone. He stayed alone over Pachim Ktanim. That's why he was zoicha to everything that he was zoicha to. And he says specifically the Nes Chanukah b'schus that he was Moshe Nefesh for these Pachim Ktanim, these small jars. That's how Klal Yisrael was zoicha hundreds of years later, thousands of years later, to the Nes Chanukah. What's about these jars? The Shach, there's a sefer Shach al Torah. The Shach al Torah says that in these jars there was shemen, that these were little jars of shemen. Yaakov Avinu is going, he's staying alone, he's being Moshe Nefesh to search for little jars of shemen. What are these little jars of shemen, and where did Yaakov Avinu get them? When Yaakov Avinu was sleeping in Keneged Shar Shamayim, the Mokum of Harabayas, Yaakov Avinu wakes up, and it says over there that he was Vayitzek Shemen al Rosha. He put up a matzeva and he poured oil on the matzeva. Now it's talking about after he had this fight with Eliphaz, which was Esav's son. Esav's son took everything away from him. All Yaakov was left with, Ki b'makli avarti asayardin. All Yaakov was left with was just a stick. That's all he was left with. So where did he get the oil from? How did he pour oil on the stone if all that was left with was the stick? In Paneach Raza, there's a sefer Paneach Raza from about 500 years ago. In Paneach Raza state that in the stick, Yaakov Avinu put shemen, so that when he wanted to learn, he knew that he's going to want to learn in Shem Ve'ever. So that when he wants to learn in Shem Ve'ever, he put oil in the stick, and that was the oil that he was Vayitzak HaRosha that he poured on the rock. Why was that oil there? That oil was there so that he should be able to learn. What's that representing? We know. Huh? Oh, but it could be it's the same mitzvah.
Say a shake.
What's that oil representing? We know that Chazal, that it says in a lot of places that Vayom, a person's supposed to learn Torah Shebeksav, but Laila, a person's supposed to learn Torah Shebal Peh. What's the point? Laila is when there's darkness. What do lights do? What does Shemen do? Shemen lights up the darkness. Darkness is a place where there's no clarity. Darkness is when we have what we get. We get day and we get night. We could serve Hashem by day. When we're serving Hashem by night, what we're doing is it's a time when you're supposed to be sleeping. It's a time when you can't be doing things. It's dark outside. There's nothing to do. Al pi teva, a person should do nothing at night. That's what a person should do at night. What does a person do? He switches his nights to days. He lights up his nights, meaning he switches them to days, and it's a doing that's coming only because of something he's doing. There's something you have to do to be able to work at night. You have to turn the night into day. You have to light up the night. You have to light up the night, and then you're going to be able to work by day. That's something that's coming from you. It's not something that comes from Hashem. From Hashem, Hashem gives you the day to work and the night to sleep, to rest up from your work that you're doing. When you're lighting up the night and learning at night, or whatever avodah that you're doing at night, what you're doing is you're switching the night into day, and it's coming from you. That's what a Pach Shemen, that's what Shemen represents. Shemen represents the ability that a person has to switch over the things that he was given and to switch and do work on his own and not just with things that he was given. He wasn't given the night. The night you kill it. It's dark outside. There's nothing you could do at night. The night is made for that you should work, and that's what Pach Shemen represents. Yaakov Avinu, before he's leaving his father's house, fills up his stick with Shemen, meaning he knows that there's work that he has to do. That's what he's doing. He's filling up the stick with Shemen. When he knows that he left over those Pachim Ktanim, those little jars of oil, that's the jars of his work. He has to go get them. He starts over there a battle with the Sar of Esav. The Sar of Esav is fighting with him over those Pachim Ktanim, over those little jars of Shemen. That's what Esav does not want. Esav doesn't want you to have your own work. Esav is fighting over Yaakov. He doesn't want him to have those Pachim Ktanim, doesn't want him to have the ability to do his own work. He's okay that he does mitzvahs that Hashem told him to do, but that you go the extra mile and that you're enabling yourself to be able to work, you're bringing work upon yourself, you're going mahadrim and mahadrim, which like we find by Chanukah, that you're going the extra mile, that Esav doesn't let. Esav is fighting over those Pachim Ktanim, Yaakov Avinu ends up winning. There's a pasuk in Hosea, the Navi, when he's going through the battle between Yaakov and the Sar of Esav, he adds something that we don't have in the Torah. He says that the Malach was Bacha, he was crying to Yaakov Avinu, begging him to let him go. Vayischanen loy. Bacha vayischanen loy. He was begging him. In Kadmoinim State, Bacha is Bechaf Hei, vayischanen. He was giving him over Chanukah, loy 36. Those are the 36 neiros of Chanukah that we light. Bacha vayischanen loy, he's giving him over neiros Chanukah. Why do we light 36 neiros of Chanukah? It's famous from the Rekach because there were 36 hours from when Adam Rishon was born until Matzah Shabbos. He was born Friday morning until Matzah Shabbos. It was 36 hours, and that represents the Or Agonos. What does Or Agonos mean? Or Agonos means Hashem originally created the world, that there should be this tremendous light, meaning clarity. There should be this tremendous light of clarity. There shouldn't be any work. Nobody would have to do work. After the Chet of Adam Rishon, Hashem hides that Or Agonos. How do you get back that Or Agonos? Through work. When a person works, he gets back to Or Agonos. Chanukah was all about, they came into the Beis HaMikdash and they couldn't light the Shemen. What did they do? They were searching and searching for a pach of Shemen, meaning they wanted to do their own work. That's what they did. They went and they lit it, they did something on their own, and what was they zeicha to? A big nace. It's not a big nace. If you go, that was the Or Agonos, that's what they did. They were doing their own work, so they were zeicha to the clarity. As soon as you work, you get that Or Agonos. That clarity is there. The clarity exists. It's just, you just have to go the extra mile to deserve that clarity. Once you go that extra mile, deserve that clarity automatically. That's what the Pach Shemen was, and that's what the Neres of Chanukah was. So, of course, the Melchama and the Pach Shemen all one and the same. Because the Melchama was also Mesiras Nefesh. They were going Rabban Be'ad Matim. They were going against the whole army. What were they doing? They're bringing Mesiras Nefesh. They're saying what Hashem gave us, the Teva that Hashem gave us, is not enough. Because if it was just Al-Pi Teva, of course the Goyim are going to win. We're going to go the extra mile. That's what Hashem was waiting for. We're going to go the extra mile. Once they went the extra mile, they're Zeicha to the Or Agonos. And that's when we light Neres Chanukah, that's what we're doing. The 36 Neres representing to the Or Agonos, the lights that we get through our work. Through the Mulchamas. When we're sitting here, what are we doing? It's dark outside, and the shul is very light. The Rav doesn't just give us a pach shemen katan, but that's what it is. It's representing the work that people do on their own. We light up the night, and through that we get to the Or Agonos.
There's a gag. Guys come 5:30.
Yeah, the guys that come 5:30. Yeah,
it's a gag.
They're preparing for the other people's work.
Exactly.